And good night, good night, good night. My name is DeCarlo Sweeting, and this is What's Going On. My co host for the night is
George Missick.
George. What's going on? How's everybody?
Oh man, it's great. It's great. It's Tuesday, second day of the week. Didn't get into much problems on Monday. Tuesday went okay. Everyone is good. Seems like a lot been going on this past week, so now we have a lot to talk about.
Yep. Seems like we do. Um, so anyway, let's get into the news. Let's see what's going on.
Miami Dolphins star quarterback Tua Tagovailoa taking a hard shot to the head from the Buffalo Bills' Damar Hamlin. Late in the third quarter of the primetime game, Tagovailoa running the ball, lowering his shoulder and colliding with Hamlin.
And takes a shot at the 6-yard line.
Tua taking a brutal hit to the head. His hands appear to seize, an immediate sign of neurological trauma known as fencing.
Yes, this is how can I say? It's disturbing to me right now. I know y'all Miami Dolphin fans really think y'all the football world ends and begins with y'all, but
It's fair,
there's
fair.
more to it after a while, and I feel that this situation with Tua, their quarterback, I'm not gonna say his last name because I can't pronounce it, but the Miami Dolphin fans know who I'm talking about. This is his third concussion right now, and I don't think you should be getting this much concussions in your young career, especially as a quarterback. And with that hit, what he had just now, the guy basically just caught it. He didn't really even hit him. For him to get another concussion and to see a young man on the ground and they have their hand all crunched up and whatever else like that, it just scare me. And it scared me to the point that I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm an uncle. People depending on you. And I can imagine his situation even more than what mine would be. People are depending on you. And I feel they need you more alive than dead.
Think so?
I would hate to believe this is my thing. I would hate to believe that they would want him dead. I know my daughter wants to see me every day. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I feel she wants to see me every day, and this is something that it ain't worth it. That's just my personal opinion. To me, it ain't worth it. And I know there's millions of dollars he might leave on the table, but it ain't worth it. What say ye?
um, Let me be serious for a moment here. Yeah, I didn't watch the game. Thank God. I actually saw the score before I saw the game, so I decided I wasn't gonna watch the game because Miami had just played a gruesome game on Monday. They barely won that. They luck out. They had all the drama with Tyreek Hill and the rest. So I, yeah, I think it was unfortunate they had a Thursday had to play another game the same Thursday.
Yep.
So all of that kind of factored in. So when I heard this thing afterwards about Tua and recall, I thought it was a replay because, like you said, I remember him having all these issues with concussions in the past. And I mean, we all, I think, watched the Will Smith movie with Concussion. It was Concussion, right? That was the name of the
Yeah.
movie, and that was high. And so that had become a very to the forefront of football, and NFL had to settle a lot of claims and suits, and I think they put a lot of protocols and stuff in place to try to prevent those things. Not stop football, but um, it is. I mean, in law, we have something called the eggshell principle: take your victim as you find them, and Tua just don't seem to be built for this game. And it's sad because he's actually a quarterback, so they're probably the ones who get hit hit the least.
Yep.
Especially if you get rid of the ball fast or you duck, I mean, Tom Brady barely got hit, right? So for him to be getting hit and, like you said, not hit probably even that hard, and to be experiencing these symptoms, the future doesn't look bright for his career. I don't even know if he's played a real good full season. And the Dolphins seem to, do well when he does play. So I understand where he obviously is a good quarterback. He had seemingly has a promising career, but injuries is the one thing that nobody really factors in with these careers. And I hear a lot of players, people calling for him to quit. Some people who are prominent and who've been there. So I think you have to pay attention to those things. Even before this, I think after the other concussions, I think he did an interview where he said he had contemplated retirement. I think he will contemplate that again. Like you said, I understand what you say about his family depending on him, but like you said, he is a young man. He has those first set of checks probably look good, but those are gonna dry up and come to a screeching halt. I don't know what he studied in college. If he studied in college, he went to class, but I don't know at this point what the plan B is when your plan was to play at least probably 5 to 10 years at least inside the NFL, have a long career, rack up these monies. Yeah, families depending on him, but they were starting to depend on him based on that Miami Dolphins salary. So it could be a little rough going home. He has concussion now. He might suffer some depression, but like you said, where there's life, there's hope. And it's unfortunate. I think he should definitely take stock of what has happened, take his medical advice, and reach, like you said, a very sensible, practical um, result. I think even at this point, the NFL will be negligent or could risk liability themselves if they don't really handle the situation correct. On one hand, if he's cleared to play in the doctors and they fire him, that could be liability. But if he continues to play, and something happens, at this point, everyone will say Stevie Wonder could have seen that
Yeah.
was likely to happen. So it's not a good position for, I think, any of those parties to be in. I mean, the best case scenario is he gets over this very quickly. You know, they clear him. He takes a little time off again. Not going to help the team. But my problem with players like this, even in the NBA, is I want somebody who can play every night. It's hard to plan around a star player when you don't know their availability, because I think the team morale and everything goes down with them every time these highs and lows. If you're in, you're in. If you're out, to me, I'd rather mediocre someone you could get to learn to work with. Some probably even a not so good quarterback, but he's consistent, he's durable. But when you don't know if this guy's going to be in the starting lineup, whether he's going to be in for the whole game, that's a bad position to build a championship team on.
But this is my problem with the NFL or any sporting um, organization. You're only you're only good to them if you're there. And the
Yeah.
minute you're not up to par or you didn't meet their meter of success or not, they're gonna cut you. They're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get rid of you. And it'll be sad that he comes back, plays, gets hurt, and then they say, okay, guess what? This fella's get hurt too much. We gotta let him go. Now you're in a situation that you trying to do your best, but like you say, your body just ain't. It ain't NFL. It ain't NFL tough. It ain't
Yeah.
built. Your body ain't built for this. You now giving your heart and soul against what your mommy say, your wife say, your children say, because you trying to make that little money or do whatever you got to do for them, and now they come up and send you home anyway. It ain't make a difference no how. They cut you and tell you, well, we can't. We like you say, the greatest ability is availability,
Yep.
and that ain't him. So therefore, we can let you go, and that's the end of that. Now, I'm hoping
And
in his
this new,
contract he gets some guaranteed money or some
uh-huh.
money that that could
Some
tie him
insurance
over.
money, has
Yeah,
good insurance. If
yeah,
premature.
because if he ain't got that, I don't see. No matter what these teams talking, oh, they love you and they want you to be there. They want you to be a Dolphin for life, a Cowboy for life, or whatever for life. Don't mind that. Once that availability ain't there no more, you
Yeah.
ain't gonna be there no more.
And the NFL isn't like NBA, where like Kawhi, right? We know Kawhi been sick for the past 10 years. He's
Yep.
been really available, but because there's so much games and there's so much meaningless games, right? They could ride him on the pine every other night or whatever. They just need to make the playoffs and hope he's around healthy enough to get through a series or two. But with football, every game counts.
Yes. You
Right?
need every one of them.
The top division, so you don't have the luxury of sitting out 5, 6 games or not playing this week, and no, that doesn't work in football, and so he's in the wrong spot to get the Kawhi Leonard treatment, where you can just stay on the bench, come in, play good, electrify the crowd, come out, or save him till Super Bowl. You're not gonna make Super Bowl. You're not gonna make the playoffs without him, unless I'm sure he has a big contract, obviously. So you got to decide what you're gonna do. You're gonna get rid of this dude. Gonna see might be get someone else, bet on someone, bet on another horse, or we gonna rock. And it's a difficult situation to be, and it's unfortunate, but that's just life. I mean, it's unfortunate that I didn't have his talents to even get in the
Yeah,
NFL.
yeah. I
So
agree. But okay, I guess we'll see how that turns out. Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
You asked and I delivered. Island Ish is back. The podcast you guys have known to love, to like to call in, to like to interact with. We are officially back. For the ones that don't know me, this is your girl Yams. Hearing me on Mix 102.1 FM or your favorite TGF_Yams. With the 2 S's, we're back with Islanish right here on Superior Talk. So make sure you're following the page. We're going live this Thursday, 6 p.m. Don't miss it. Follow us. It's about to get lit.
Today we've made a commitment to Grand Bahamians to put some questions both to the Grand Bahama Port Authority as well as to the power company. Recently, we had members of the government who indicated that they do not support the increase in prices, and we agree with them. So people are concerned about getting straight answers from the regulator on whether or not the power company is following the agreement. Are they servicing residents of Grand Bahama in the way that they ought to? No. We believe that GBPA has fallen down on their duty to hold the power company responsible.
Now that was Member of Parliament for Marco City and leader of the Free National Movement, Mr. Michael Pintard. The FNM hold a protest in front of the the Grand Bahama Power Company, talking about how the service is not well and they are asking for an increase. And I'm like, where y'all this come from? Where y'all was when and we can talk with the PLP later, right? But
yeah,
that's why the PLP could say and do y'all always a day late and a dollar short. What y'all you are the official opposition. That's your job.
yep,
Why you late to your job? Why you late to find out what's going on? Why you late with these things that you should have been up on them all day? The leader is a representative in Marco City, which is on the island of Grand Bahama. You could do your own little to do. You ain't have to do no protest. You ain't have to do no thing. The people got to see you. The people need to see you. You got what 2 other MPs there. What they doing? What anyone doing? This is why it can be rough for the FNM in the next election, because unless a miracle happen or y'all get one new super duper leader or some kind of rah rah person who can come there, y'all got to put some fire on these things, man. The grandmama power doing good now. Well, I ain't got no power outages. I can't speak for everybody else, but they doing good now.
Yeah.
Why y'all just come up with this thing? What you say about them, George?
Oh, there's something new after they done fix the thing. They making
Yeah,
noise, but
yeah.
oh, sorry, I late now. I didn't realize that's what was going on. But it's listening to it and listening to this loud voice, like you said, the PLP. This is so funny, right? The PLP since they came in been going to war with the port. Y'all need to go. Y'all need to pay us. Y'all whatever. And half of them, like they pushing back. Like they y'all no, these dudes are right. Right? Like, this the problem with this country. This divide and conquer spirit. Like, everybody have this incestuous relationship with the Port Authority. Election coming up. They talking a little loud, but they won't go to them for their campaign money. And right, they always been a good source. So it's when you see these little shows and these little protests, they late, like you said, because sometimes it's not the conviction. It's more of a little show for the public to make them think. But like you say, you either for them or you ain't for them. If they bad, they all the way bad by now because they've had a long run. This lease Oxford Creek agreement being extended, renewed. So either y'all get with the PLP and sit down and get on one accord. Yeah, they need to go, right? Or what's the official statement? But this jumping in one day they good for this, one day they bad for this. It's definitely a time to review. Um, I mean, we all have our reservations about the government and everything else, but uh, I like to call a spade a spade. I think the same with you. Broken things need to be fixed, and we need to stop settling for, I guess, the lesser two evils, or like eh, everybody just play one off against that. We need to demand better by whoever is there. You in, you out. The Port Authority hasn't really had to answer to the people. They playing this little football thing with the government and whatnot. But what does the people of Grand Bahama say? Right? It's like it's like when you're oppressors or people, like it's a bad position to be in, and I'm sure a lot of people don't even want to go press, to go protest or whatnot, because again, anything that is free board that needs to be sponsored or whatever, that's the first place you go and look for money. Yeah, them, then y'all at BTC, probably right. Only a couple people shell it
Yeah.
out like that. So, so they know how to push the buttons to quiet down, which is money. You keep the people depressed. Anytime they make noise, you put some food in their mouth, put some money in their hand, boom. You live to fight another day, and that's why this cycle keeps repeating itself. But like you say, we're getting close to the elections, and we need to see some real change. And I think a lot of these governments now or oppositions have gotten to this place where they think, hey, I just need to wait 5 years. No matter how bad we get beat or whatever, blaming people only to us. It's them and us. Right? After 5 years, they can be tired, be coming back in. And a lot of times, like you said, they come back with the same people, the same energy, the same people who couldn't fix nothing for the past 10, 15, 20 years,
Yep.
right? So, I mean, why we keep doing this? Like, these dudes, for whatever reason, there's a lot of talk. They get elected, they go inside the office, the talk finished, they tell you they about the people business, flying up and down, doing, making press conferences, attending, and none of these problems ever get resolved locally. Local
Now,
government, I don't even know what local government does anymore.
local government is a sham. It's to me they're glorified park keepers and plumbers and electricians,
Yeah,
just the
yeah.
bare minimum. And when we go and speak about these accidents that are happening, we'll see why we need real local government to deal with certain things. At least I want to bring it up because the idea can't be like you said. Let's wait 5 years and the people can kick them out. The people
Yep.
can get tired of them and we can get a free ride. So that's just hang in there, sit small till your name call, and then we can get in there. That will not be. We as a people deserve more than that. You get
Hmm.
now people who ain't want to do no work to get in, So I know when they get in, they ain't gonna do no way. So therefore, what foolishness is this we trying to do? And as an opposition, you can't. You gotta oppose. That's your own. That's the only job we give you.
Yeah,
Oppose.
that's the
It's in,
best job to sit down
it's
and
in the
criticize.
title.
You can't do that properly.
You too lazy to do that. You catching on the things dead late, dead slow. Come on, man. You can't do that, man. That ain't fair to the people. You ain't giving the people a fighting chance to say, okay, if I don't like the governing party now, where can I go?
Yeah.
And really and truly, where can you go? You have now the COI, and they went ahead and they already do all the candidates. I think they're doing 18, 19 candidates right now. And they going full steam ahead. I don't know when the FNM will ever call all their candidates and whatever like that, because that's another mess what they got to go through. Because they got
Yep.
some people there they ain't want. They got some people there they got to replace. I know you're replacing them with. The good people out there who can do a good job don't want to do it because politics is a dirty game. If I come to you, George, hey, I need you. I want to run for Marco City. I want to run for Lucaya. I need your support financially. You can say, yeah, man, that ain't no problem. But when you get in, I can need that little thing back. And I can have to say, man, I can't promise you nothing. And when I tell you I can't promise you nothing, then you see what happened to the grand fella when he said he ain't got no money.
And a fridge and no stove.
He ain't give you no fridge, no stove. He ain't give you none of these things.
That
Where
is
you
true.
think you was going?
Yeah. What's your purpose?
And it's bad that that's how we relate these things with one another. But this is
Well,
this
I
ain't my
mean,
world. It was given to me. I didn't make it.
it don't even have to be a fridge and stove directly to you, but you can't present that like that because anybody electing you, what we look for governments to do, I think, just any all over the world is to make your life better, whether it's holistically or individually. And most people think individually. So even if it's a big plan for everybody, I should be able to feel it. I should be able to touch the increase in minimum wage or the new jobs or whatever, right? You provide no opportunities. So I think if you just come and say, I can't give nothing, I can't do that, that just sounds, all you hear is, I can't do nothing for you,
Yep.
right? So if you can, so I wouldn't say I can't give you no fridge and stove. I'd say, listen, I'm going to do some things. You will be able to go down to the and buy a fridge and stove next, right? At least give me some hope. But don't come here shoot down my thing. I'm telling me like you can't do it. What you coming for? A salary? You
So
know. So
you just gonna lie to the people.
no,
That's
I'm
that's
not
the
gonna
thing.
lie to them. I, it's my intention to make your life better. However, that come in the form of policies. We know VAT too high. We know national insurance going high. The schools, all these buildings falling down around you. You have to show people, how will you make my life better? The cost of living too high. How can you bring that down? So let me know how I'm gonna feel this. Right? I know what's gonna happen for you. You're gonna get a car, a driver, an
Yep.
office, bunch of things you ain't never had before, opportunities to sign some deals for you and your family. You can get more sweethearts, you can get, the
Yep.
whole 9 yards. So we know what the politicians getting out of this. What is the voter getting out of it? And like you said, in the opposition, and I think people getting tired of just going to the polls and voting to change governments.
Yep.
Again, knowing that, hey, it's just, we tried this one last. We tried this one, right? Lincoln, we just don't trust them. We don't know what's going on there. Um, so it's not a ah, I don't know. And the country is in such bad situation. I don't think we talk about all those loans they've been borrowing yet from that, from
They
Saudi Arabia. We
they
already
got one.
see those loans
They
from the Chinese. We ain't pay back the Chinese yet.
well, they going back to them to go do what they going to go build one the hospital. So it ain't gonna stop. I know
Yeah,
we paying these bills.
yeah, man. I see us pay off nothing. I see no discharge for nothing. But we continue to borrow.
Oh boy. Anyway, we got what 2 more years of the PLP. So we'll see what they do in that 2 years, and we'll talk with them a little later. But let's take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Yo, what's up, Bahamas? My name is Andrew Williams, aka Cat.
And I'm your boy Mix.
And we're representing Off the Bench, the number one talk sportcast in the Bahamas.
In the world, my boy.
My bad partner. So
Yeah.
we cover anything sports throughout the Bahamas. We cover our Bahamian athletes wherever they are, and they're making waves in sports. We cover them.
Hey, just tune in to us every Wednesday here on Superior Talk at 6 o'clock p.m.
The number one talk show
in the world.
In the world, Craig.
And we're back. I know you don't want to talk about these accidents that we're having, especially in the capital. I don't know. This is just so strange. We had one streak in Abaco one time where they were, and if you ever been to Abaco has these long highways from one settlement to the next, and persons were just getting in a lot of accidents in these, especially in these. I don't want to say Japanese cars or whatever like that, but like Tasman like to call them disposable vehicles. And now the capital, Grand Bahama had a few where some persons lost their lives, and it's really getting to a serious point that about a few weeks ago there were three brothers. They were in an accident, and it took all three of their lives. Now, as a parent, to lose one child would be just horrible, but to lose three, that's I think that's a bit overwhelming. Now we get now to the planes. There was a plane that took off from Linden Pinland International Airport, and it was going into Andres. Apparently, the plane went in. They caught it into some bad weather, and how it works, or what my understanding of how it works is, the pilot was calling for the airport in Andres to cut on the lights because the weather's bad. Can't see. I need the lights on to land. Apparently, you need clearance from Nassau to cut on the lights in Andres in order for them to land. They gave them no clearance, so they had to turn back around. Now, I don't know what happened on their way back, but the plane had crashed. There were 7 persons on it, and 2 of the persons died from the
It was ditched.
crash.
It was ditched.
Huh?
It was ditched, not crashed.
Yeah,
They said.
well, yeah. Let me. Okay.
Semantic.
Yeah. I know if I in the plane, yeah, I say we crash it. But
It's supposed to land on water, right?
well, they have some air. They got some water planes. So, but anyway, we straight. 2 persons lost their lives because of certain things that I felt that the government is falling down on. And as we spoke of local government has to be real now, because we don't need the airport in Andres have to call the airport in Nassau to say cut on a light for the runway. If you have local government, you have your person that who's in charge of the island. They run the island. They govern the island. They make sure things that are needed and warranted on that island to be there, and things can work how it needs to work. Persons in Nassau can't feel the pain of persons in Andres, Inagua, Abaco, wherever. And I have a problem with centralization with these things, because a road law in Nassau mightn't be the same thing as what we need here in Eleuthera, because the traffic in Nassau don't even make no sense compared to the traffic in Eleuthera, which they have none of. But you might write one law saying, oh, well, traffic is at this point, you have to do this and that, and this, and police come and book me in Eleuthera, and you're like, hold on, we ain't got no traffic, what you talking about? No, but that's the law. And I see why America has their states can have their own laws, and it's because of this. They know how one another feel. They know what they need and what they don't need. Now, I don't want to stray from the point of the traffic incidents, but We need to find out why we having so much of these things. It on little islands, on big islands, big populated islands, we still having the same thing. People losing their lives. It can't be. This can't be a good thing. Why is this happening? What say ye, George?
Well, I mean, it will happen. I mean, accidents, like you said, do happen. That's why we have insurance, and that's why it's happening too much. And I think we can make a dent in um, the frequency. Some of these things are definitely avoidable. But one of the things I think, again, I always talk about accountability. We really don't hold anyone accountable for those things. You see it in the newspapers, but who's going to get charged for messing up? Who going to the bathroom? Who turned off their phone? Who was out drinking, going get drunk or whatever, wasn't minding their post? Who didn't do? Like, we don't like to call out name, shame, and stuff because one, someone just need to make a call. They know someone who know the prime minister, right? So someone just need to make a call via behalf, and we sweep these things under the rug. Who, when these big things happen, like you say, who getting called before, like in the US? They like call people before Congress dance and stuff, right? Like you need to put people up in front, get the public, um, you know, have accountability, have transparency in these things. And at the end of the day, unless people are being held accountable, you're gonna have a lot of repeat because there's no punishment for it. There's no consequence for a lot of these actions. I don't know if some people say sorry, but in terms of the accidents and the roads, look at things, start to revisit how are we training these drivers? Are we properly training them? Are we ensuring that people aren't just buying the licenses? Are we ensuring that people aren't drink driving? Are we ensuring that some of these cars are roadworthy enough? Are they being, we checking tires and stuff, making sure that people not driving on ball tires and all these different things, one light. So a lot of things, I think, contribute to accident. Um, Obviously recklessness, some people just speeding and out of control partying, and that can be dealt with. Again, you need to start suspending more of these licenses, but enforcing it, right? Don't just suspend it and there's no type of procedures or things in place to make sure that, hey, if this person drive without the license, you could actually catch him and lock him up, or right. The law has to be enforceable. You have to start making examples out of some people, showing people how harsh the law could be for these things, and that's the only way you will start to see improvement in these type of things. Definitely for small island, and it always, I shouldn't say amaze me, but you're always wondering when you hear these accidents, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. These roads were only the two cars on it.
Yep.
So space and opportunity, like you're always trying to run into each other. We also have, there's a lot of insurance fraud and different things out there, right? A lot of people crashing things, right? So all of these systems things need to be properly investigated. What we don't have is a lot of, again, accountability. When these things happen with frequency, where's the government audit report on these things, and where's the report back to the people? Okay, we found weaknesses in this, boom, boom, boom. These are the recommendations from the boards, the committee, blah, blah, blah. We can try to implement. That's how things get better. You learn from these things, you send it, but all of this should be done very transparently, and to bring awareness about it so people could. But I mean, right now, between the killings, the murders, and these senseless death, there's just too much deaths on the street. And I think a lot of people are getting immune to it. But to me, the avoidable stuff, we need to do a better job of trying to make sure that we put things in place to make sure that one life lost is too many.
Do we even suspend licenses down there? Do we have that procedure? And who's to follow up on that? What I don't even know what the penalties for traffic violations and things like that.
Again, I'm sure it's been a while. So it's been a while since I looked at that, but I'm sure we do. But again, everything comes down to enforcement. And if it isn't swift, the punishment isn't publicized. So, is there a register? We should have registers published if people your license get want to do infractions or dangerous driving, certain offenses should automatically get your license suspended. People driving without insurance and different driving without insurance to me is a very, very serious offense.
Oh
And
yeah.
people, yeah, because being on this side of the law, when you see someone lose a loved one or get really messed up in an accident, and it turns out that the person who hit them doesn't have never had insurance. So, those things are criminal. I mean, someone should go to jail for
Yep.
those things, because how do you tell this person now they lost a loved one, family, they can't even get money to bury them. They can't, maybe we need to look at, again, in the UK, in certain places, they have compensation schemes from the government for victims of some of these tragedies, particularly where persons don't have insurance. So there's a lot of things these would-be politicians or these politicians who've been around for all these years need to answer for. Like, why don't we have some of these things? Where all the money going? Why, and I mean, we keep celebrating these independence, but these are things that we need to be able to show track record and show that we've done over all these years.
I don't know if we I don't know if we want to, because to do these things it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of people looking at these names and say, oh, this George Missick, that's my cousin. No, I can't let him do so. I can put that to the side. When you're in a small society like we are, we get away with things, and I'd rather you drive with no license than you drive with no insurance.
Mm-hmm.
We need that insurance. That
Yeah.
that top of all things. And
Gotta be mandatory. Yeah, because most
yeah,
people drive without license. They at least had a license. You
yeah.
know, they doesn't pay to renew it. But
But yeah, we have to do better with this, and I hope the accidents get cease. We can drive together and get over this thing. But I'd like to say my condolences to the family in Andres. Well, both the sad part about it, both of the families were from Andres. The three boys who lost their lives, their families
that's
from
true.
Andres,
And the
and
plane.
the plane crash is actually the person's day from Andres also. So condolences to the family. May God be with you all and keep you all strong. So let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jason.
And I'm Cheryl. Join us here on Superior Talk Bahamas YouTube channel every Tuesday at 6 for Let's Talk,
where we talk about issues that matter to you. We try to come up with workable, practical solutions so we have more action and less talk.
See you on Tuesday.
And we're back. George, I know you watch it. How was the presidential debate? What did you think of former President Donald Trump versus, and I gotta say the woman named right. It's like Pamela, just say Kamala. I'm hoping that I'm right. Tasma always corrects me on that. So it's Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. What you thought of the debate?
Honestly, truthfully, I didn't watch the debate.
George,
I heard about the debate.
I know you're going on YouTube, you get the highlights, you hear
I,
somebody
wa-
talking about that, you hear someone talking about this,
I watched
you
a little bit
watch
of it.
something.
I started to watch it. Someone called, distract me. I didn't really get back to it. But I kind of know how it went. Like, now, um, apparently I saw enough, right? It didn't keep my attention to watch it for 2 hours, but I saw enough of it to know that America is in a lot of problems. Because, again, people saying who won, who lost. I mean, obviously the first debate with Trump and Biden, you know who lost, because one decided he's not even gonna run for president no more. They were calling for his head after that, right? This one, Trump was Trump, getting older, a little bit more groggy. Obviously, Kamala was more, I guess, cool, calmer. Um, she's a prosecutor. She used to talk and she been in, right? So, the younger female candidate. So, I think what I'm hearing is that she won the debate. Now, again, I don't know how you win this debate when the two of them, as we discussed last time, have some serious issues to deal with. Right? There's some things that the top center and on each person's mind, and to me, each candidate has some things which they're not going to do a good job of explaining at all. Kamala just, deflected, true politician, uh, from when she doesn't want to answer a question. Donald Trump just makes up his story and gives you a version of what he wants to hear. The Republicans were crying that the moderators were biased. They was fact checking him on everything. I mean, when you lie a lot, people fact check you. Uh, so he didn't like that. So he thought he was debating 3 against 1. He thought the debate was, and as a result of that, they asked him for a third debate. No, I busy. We ain't doing that no more. so so but ironically, it doesn't seem as if it has made a lot. It made a lot of dent inside of the polls. I was looking at the poll numbers. Um, the polls haven't changed much. It's still a very tight race. I think that's the same night. I believe it's the same night that Taylor Swift endorsed Donald Trump. Sorry, Kamala Harris, and all of that. So we talked about that last time as well. The Democrats aim to be the bling party, the party that's out, has a lot of that momentum, the star power and whatnot to it. It's sexier to say support the Democrats than the Republicans, but to me, at the end of the day, abortion is big, immigration is big, um, on which depending on what side you fall on, and America is divided on a lot of these issues. If you look at the Democrats, for me, uh, on the last few years have been very messy. Right? Let's call it what it is. I don't know how the economy is still bad. Inflation is still up. U.S. prime rates, all these things are up. Like you say, we have these wars, which in the past, under any president that I could remember in the past, when you have these wars break out, um, usually you have America diplomacy go out. You see Secretary of State and them flying about, have some meeting, boom, 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 peace treaties signed and different. Like I haven't seen the Democrats really be effective with all this chaos with Ukraine and Russia. Like I mean, they're not supposed to be in the war, but they're in the war. That's the messed up part, right? Why the war can't end? Because they keep funding the war, the thing, and so there doesn't seem to be any type of much diplomacy in terms of really trying. The same thing with Israel, and Israel is a mess. America picked these sides, and right now, I think it's easy a lot of times when you're more neutral to assist in ending a dispute. But when you're clearly on one side of the fence, ain't nobody even listening to you, because what you coming to tell me? Stop fighting them. Give me, but you're giving them you basically a part of this war, and I don't know if that's the best strategy that they employed. Of course, Trump is sitting back and saying, "Yeah, no wars when I was there," you know. And I mean, factually, he probably has a point. He didn't. Now, I don't know if it's a matter of timing, but and I think these wars are really taking a toll. Um, Not as bad as COVID was, but it is taking a toll, because remember, all these supply chains, even from COVID and after the war, got affected, and it drove up the price on a lot of things, which the prices are still up, right? Because there's a lot of oil, different things trading with Russia. Like, so the world is in a mess. You got a bunch of other crazy people in the background. And I think that's national security. Security is going to be a big deal for Americans. Immigration is going to be a big deal. I hate to sound insensitive with this, but I don't know why abortion is so big on, on the card. Sorry, because they make it a woman's, like they tell women, oh, he doesn't like. But I don't know. I mean, really and truly, I don't know how much women have abortions, right? I suspect the number is not as high as that everyone on is concerned about this issue on the ballot. Now, the right to life and the legal side of things, yes, everyone, and again, that then don't even become just a women. So when they talking about this woman, right, I think there's a lot of deceptive language inside this. Like Kamala was playing on they playing on this woman. Sorry, this whole women's thing, but I think the right to life and stuff. That's just an American. That's everyone's business. I don't think that's the issue. The issue is abortion per se, because you have a percentage of women who have to have abortion. They talk about the ones who get rape and all, again, small percentage, small. Not to say that it's insignificant, but small percentage. And then these women who have to go from one state, if they get pregnant, to the next state. I mean, if you know you're gonna, if you know you have a, I mean, people don't know when I talk in seriousness or sense, but if you can have a lot of abortion, probably might just want to just move to a state that has abortion and you just stay there, right?
But
So
how Americans are, they feel that wherever they are, they should have the rights, however they are. Now, my stand on it is, it's the woman body. She want to do what she want to do. Let her do what she want to do. I getting into all of that. Now, the
you
war
saying that
stuff.
as a man who suppose the woman having your child, and you don't
I
have no say, you don't have no say in this.
I I have come to a point that I am learning to take responsibility for my body, and whoever I laying down with, I can protect myself as best as I can to make sure I'm not giving her that power to say if she can have a child for me or not. I ain't giving you that power. Because if I don't want to have a child for you, I wrapping it up. If I got to get a vasectomy, if I got to get whatever I got to do, I got to protect me. And I preaching this to all males. Do not give nobody the power over you to
Yeah,
decide what they could do and what they can't do. Because we've noticed this, what they say, their body, their choice, and the fella saying my money, my choice. So if
but
I
but
would take care of the child, that's it.
there's a, there's a third choice in this, and that's the choice of the child, of the fetus, right? And again, this is where these arguments, when does life begin and what at what term to terminate. So if I'm listening to Trump, and again, it's hard to listen to Trump to know what right or wrong, but Trump is saying, listen, we're not opening this up. What we did, or the Republicans did, or when they overturned Roe v. Wade, is they put this right to choose, this question kind of back in the hands of the individual states. So again, you got a bunch of islands in the Bahamas. Grand Bahama might be different from, right? Because some people are very do this on religious grounds. They believe that's killing. Like certain days they think, you shouldn't abort the
Yep,
child. Them old people tell you have it, bring it. Even you don't want it, bring it to me. I can take care of it. Don't
yep.
kill the child, right? So there's and we know the majority of the pregnancies is that. It ain't no rape, it ain't no that. It's some people they been out drinking late, they whatever they had
Have
some
a good
child in.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, we just want to get rid of the children. And I think abortion has become such big business as well, because there's a money element between it as well.
There
Ne-
always is.
Never forget the money, right? And I think it just got to the point, if they're honest about it, even the Democrats, they know that people having abortions and stuff, like can't, like they having, I don't know, like the blood test or some random, like it's just getting abused because it's so available and free. And if you don't put no checks on balance of it, even in a free society, yeah, right, that's right to do things, right to bear arms. And like, we don't like to put responsibility, certain rights, in the hands of irresponsible people. Is a dangerous thing. And I'm not communist or whatever, but I think that's like any other laws. There's a lot of things that need to be, again, not necessarily majority rule, because like they said, the majority could be wrong, but we definitely need to have sensible debates. If you call yourself some of these people, that's why I like to hear people. If you're a Democrat in the Republic, but you say I'm a Christian or I'm a this and that, right? Like, have a sensible debate. Really kind of get into these issues and don't just be blinded by your loyalty to one party
But
or
but
whatever.
our problem is sometimes we are blinded to the cause that we are in, because
Yeah.
I might be against the gun laws that they have. So because the Democrats are against the gun laws that they have now, I'm a hard Democrat. But
Hmm.
I don't believe in the LGBTQ, but I can sit down and take the Democrat thing because, hey, they doing the gun law. And then on the other side, I could say, hey, I don't have a problem with abortion. I mean, I have a problem with abortion. The
Yeah.
Republicans feel that way, so therefore I can say I Republican. But once again, the Republicans pushing these guns thing on, they pushing all these things on. Trump will come with this law now that the police officer is always right no matter what, a leniency thing on.
Yeah.
I don't agree. I'm not gonna agree with nobody 100%. That's
No.
no. I can't even agree with myself 100%. So
No. Exactly.
so I have to sit down and balance out and say, okay, which one of these parties are gonna do the most for me in
Yep.
my situation? Because a black man in California is different from a black man in New York or in Miami because all of them got different type of thing. But listening to that debate to sum it up with Trump them talking about the people eating the cat and the dog and the this and the that, man. I mean, I sat down because right after we finish here, I say, okay, Tasman, let's go. We go on in the room. We catch a little piece of it out the front. Then we say, again in the room, go watch it. And then I sit down there with my mouth open and like, what America? This we talk about us as a little nation.
Yep.
You see what America doing? Who they got
That's
for
what they
to
got to
lead the
offer.
country?
That's what they have to offer. And don't forget, 2 months ago, Kamala wasn't there at all. So she like a last minute sub in.
Exactly.
Right? So all of a sudden, nobody talked about her, but now she's the best thing since sliced bread. She's yeah, this, that, like.
And I am baffled at how she raised so much money so quickly. It's like, wait, what? How this happen? What changed?
The money there. Well, people, um, Biden wasn't getting the money because people were like, this hopeless, he ain't gonna win, right? so that moved bread life back into the Democratic Party. Yeah, this even if she wins, she probably will live out her term because we wasn't sure Biden was gonna just freeze up and all. He was another tour waiting to happen, right? And I think Trump forgot at that last debate. You're not an old man in the thing, right?
Oh
You're
yeah,
right. You ain't that far behind, so I think we started to see some of his senile that's
oh
come out.
yeah,
And Trump was president before. The next thing Kamala has on her side is we saw Trump as president before, right? And all of that wasn't we had all good years. Like when they talk about divisiveness in America and stuff, you remember the NBA champions wasn't even going to the White House
exactly.
no
Yep,
more. He was fighting with the people on the Broadway plays. Everybody
yep.
come on
He
TV.
divided the country.
Yeah, police issues. We where he stand on. He call them nice people. So for a black person, yeah, Trump is hard to convince us that this man. Someone say, listen, Trump just say what the rest thinking. Trump say, yeah, but sometimes we need some people to at least play nice with,
Yeah,
because so at the end of the day, it's gonna be historic. I think either which way it goes.
yep,
Uh, Kamala is a good. I think um, I wouldn't bet on it by no stretch of the imagination because, like I said, the deceptive thing about Trump's people is a lot of them. It ain't sexy. Easy to say I support Trump because again, people start to label some of them as racist and whatnot. And you support this, blah blah blah. Even black people. And black people support Trump because they feel let down by the Democratic Party and Kamala. They got some issues with her, plenty issues. But like you said, it's the Pope said it best. Pope the Pope chastised both of them. Kamala like killing babies. Donald Trump sending back everybody home and just like killing them trying to get rid of all the immigrants and whatnot. So he tell them basically try to pick the lesser two evils,
yeah.
whatever that is. I
That's
ain't
what it
telling
is.
you what the two of them mess up basically, but what I'm not gonna sit here and pretend is like one so much more superior and better stance than the rest because again, Kamala hasn't been, again, we've seen her not as president, but she's been in the administration for 4 years. And you call Biden out on nothing. So silence give consent. So if you are part of the thing, you take the good and you take the bad. But it's trying now to carve aside yourself as if, okay, I had nothing to do with the bad. But boy, all these good things that happen, yeah, we
That's
raised them.
neat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. That I don't like the propaganda.
Well, November coming soon, and this the tightest race I have seen so far in a long time, and I can't wait to see how. And no matter how how it ends, if Trump wins, there's gonna be problems. If Trump don't win, there's gonna be bigger problems because when he
It's
lost,
close to what you're saying, but the last one was close.
exactly. So this one can be closer. So you know Trump can act the fool with this one. So, but anyway, let's get on to our question of the day and see what's going on there. Speaking of politics, it is now the PLP third year anniversary in power. They are taking over from the F&M. Honorable Prime Minister at the time, Hubert Minnis, called an early election. I know what for. I don't tell him that was a good idea, but he went ahead and he did it. And the PLP won the majority of the seats. Now, in the third year, what we can do here right now, George, is we can grade them on this 3 years in power, what they do, what they ain't do. Because right now we having this issue right now that the PLP and the PLP they slick. I like Brave, but he's slick. And when I say he's slick, meaning that when he came in, he was smart. He grabbed all the low-lying fruit. All the low-lying fruit. Let's open up the place. Let's do this. Let's do that. Tourism started. People started working. Get rid of all them stupid laws what Menace had. You got to go to the food store by your last name and all that foolishness. Open it up. Let's do this. Let's do that. He say he dropped VAT, which he did.
He dropped back. They increased that. Or
No,
they,
VAT
or
was
they,
12%.
yeah,
He
yeah,
dropped it
okay,
to 10%. But once again, he's slick because VAT was 12% under the Menace regime, but only on certain items.
yeah.
When when Brave came in,
But
he dropped it, put it at 10%
everything.
on everything.
Oh,
So and that's why I say he's slick. You gotta watch him. He do some things that mind you, it sound like he looking out for you, but boy, the devil in the details with him. So then he do this other little thing now with what he doing with the Port Authority. He muscling them up. He throwing some blows on them. So
yeah.
now we here in Grand Bahama saying, okay, boy, this looking good, boy. He finally someone saying talking about the Port Authority. But at times I look at it like this. You ever see when now they like to do at every end of every political term, they grab one or two MPs them and say, okay, we can lock you up and we can say you been thieving this and thieving that. And I've noticed with all of those trials, ain't nothing come out of it. The last one they had was Sheehan ended up getting $1 million back from the government for and they're like, hold on, what?
Spending our money plus paying.
So how we winning with those type of things? And I'm thinking to myself, are they doing the same thing with the Port Authority, acting like they doing something when they really we ain't gonna get we're not gonna get the results that we want. Same thing with the MPs. That I want when MP go to jail. I need someone to say, hey, we can set an example on somebody.
Yeah.
But I ain't seen no example get set on nobody. And I don't think they can be an example set on the Port Authority. I don't think nobody can do nothing. I think they gone bottom the Port Authority because of selfish means. They won't get in there to do their own little funny little business. And I can't sink my teeth. You know when old people have said, my spirit just don't take to them. I know what. It's something I can't put my finger on it. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing solid. It ain't nothing I can say. Oh yeah, but I just don't trust the PLP. So for 3 years, I will give them a C plus. I don't think he do the low lying fruit, and I ain't giving you much thing up for no low lying fruit. Because Haley could pick the low line. It was obvious what needed to be done just to get this place going. You ain't gonna impress me. Think you's the smartest person. You gonna get all the people who's on the news them and thing, and podcasts and all these other things who's talking bad, but he hire all of them. All of them he gonna hire. All of Clint Watson, all the people who
Yeah,
talk about
yeah,
so he ain't got nobody talking bad but him. So you can't really say, well, hey, he ain't nobody saying nothing bad but him. So he must see do it. No, he slick. I tell you, he's slick. You gotta keep your eye on him. That's all I can tell you. But
yeah.
my grade for him right now in the PLP is a C plus. And Fred better stop his fool just talking, but oh, we need another term to finish off what we need to do. Hey. When you got the contract, you know how long the contract was for. If you know you couldn't finish your work in that amount of time, don't take the job. So I say C plus. What say ye?
Um, um, I'll probably go a little lower than that. Probably. I I wouldn't put the since you put C, we'll stick with the C. But I know I had no plus to nothing, because crime again is one of our biggest things. It's through the roof. When you look at what's going on, particularly with the crime situation and all these allegations of the police, and I think they're going through their moment right now, which will define a lot of this administration. And so it's too early to tell how they handle this. And because I think if Bahamian people aren't left with some satisfaction, there's a lot of families out there. All these police killing cases and stuff between the court. You saw all those police got indicted the other day.
Yep. Uh-huh.
There is troubling videos coming out from homeboy in the states and everything, and for the most part, the government pretty quiet on it. You know, they're going to use the classic, it's before the courts, the investigation is sensitive, we ain't talking, right? So a lot of that to me is troubling. I don't think we really made much dent in terms of immigration. The economy, we talked about that earlier, we just borrowing a lot more money, right? So you can't really show me that the economy is doing so much better under you because you're borrowing.
Yep.
That's more debt, right? Like, I wait to yet to see the government who bragging about how they pay down some money on the debt. Listen, we close out one of those loans, right? No, they find if it ain't FTX, they pivot from FTX, find them boys up in Saudi Arabia and get the oil money, and PLP again. They ain't care who they take money from.
No.
I don't know what the due diligence process and stuff is be, but boy, they sign contract, they sign fast for loan. I mean, fella come down there and the old gap like straight off the war field. Um, um, we signing away 55 million, this, that, and again, tell the people, don't tell them you're taking it, how we can pay this back. I hear them talking about 2%, only 2% interest, and 2% is on 50, is the amount you borrowing, and the percentage. And we know you're going to default on it, most likely, right? So the loan thing is troubling. Nobody talking about that, and there's a lot of things that people just don't talk about. So, like you said, there's a lot of dancing and festivities going on. I would say I would give him. It seemed to be running a better ship than the previous PLP leader, and he was there. Like, it ain't look that messy. That's a good sign for this administration. We got one or two bad apples in there, but they ain't nowhere close to the gangs. Some of the characters we had in the
Oh
past so
yeah.
far. And if we can maintain that, that's good. But I think the Bahamas has some real challenges in terms of unemployment, safety. Yeah, people still coming to the Bahamas. It's the Bahamas. The tourism numbers, I'm sure, are still looking good. And that's
Very
probably the
good.
only thing. The
Yep.
only thing we really know. We still having these issues with electricity, and there's
Yep.
something you need to. I mean, they need to solve some things until they start checking off some things that other people couldn't fix and deal with. This poor thing, yeah, they started, but again, anything that happen with this, you talk about the Adrian Gibson case, some of the cases, anything coming out of those, like we can't get no resolution for nothing. So the fact that you just doing stuff, if your result is the same as everybody else, I can't give you no high grades because you just, like you say, you're being busy. Yeah, a lot of we investigating it, but I heard about investigation going up, and I don't know if it's true, but I saw a picture service with the officer who's supposed to be on leave. Say he had the press conference, like when he come back, right? Uh,
And this what I
so
tell you with them. They slick. They do things and they act and they throw it right back in your face. You like you said, no, Lord, that's your boy. What you doing back? You don't hear nothing but he back.
yeah,
And even to some of these press conference, I see some old PLPs sitting up in these. Oh, they say, oh, why that fella back now? Now that one don't need to come back. That one, it's
but
just too much, and you ain't giving me enough results for me to take this type of foolishness what you doing or trying to be slick with. That's all I say. He just slick to me. That's
yeah,
that's just how I look at it.
like as
So,
well, boy, they dancing and having a good time, boy. Him and the
oh
first
yeah,
lady could cut
now,
it, boy.
now I can tell you, I was glad for them for the 50th independence because they control a party. We had party all for weeks. We was having a
Yeah,
party for independence. We had a good time. But
Brave making it look good now. You having a
oh yeah,
time now.
oh yeah, pomp and pageantry. That's them all the way. But I say C plus. You say what your grade is for them?
I'll give him a C. I'll stay in the C class, but I'll downgrade that. Maybe a C minus. You.
Oh my, oh my. All right, that's your grade. I can't get mad at you for that. But we still need them to do better, no matter what it is. But let's get into our bongi of the day, George.
Of recordings of calls, and they've only found 2 Springfield residents calling to complain about Haitian migrants taking geese from ponds. Only 2 calls, and I think one lesson of this whole story: people don't care about geese. Recordings of calls, and they've only found 2 Springfield residents calling to complain about Haitian migrants.
Now, I don't know who this Rich Lowry fella is, right? But this fella, if he have the nerve, the audacity, I mean, he really and truly don't care to come on
Yeah,
TV, national TV, international TV, and use the N word. And he ain't just use the N word. I know when we say it, right? We say it with a little class, not class, but we sexy it up. We do. He took me back to Kunta Kinte them days right there when he said that. He said that with the on it, like we said it with the on it. He
yeah.
said it with the on it. So he said that like he was back in the plantation days and he got whipped and he's about to do what they do best. And this is scary to me. And this is why Trump them is scare me and scare me a lot because they bring out some people who should not be out. They should be back, way back, far from civilized people
Yeah.
because this just don't make no sense. And the woman who doing the interview ain't say nothing. Let's cut to a
Yes,
commercial break. Ain't say nothing. Just say, oh, it's like she's used that word too. That's it. I don't. They don't understand what the problem is.
Nobody apologize. Take a commercial break. Nothing.
Nothing. Another ordinary day, and this is why I don't care what you say. When they say "Make America Great Again," they don't mean the great man's got a couple definitions with them,
Yeah.
and it ain't got nothing to do with being bigger and better. It got all to do with being whiter and brighter. That's all it is to me.
Great for who is the classic. Great for who?
Yeah.
Which period of greatness we talking about?
Yeah, you know them Kunta Kinte days, they want them back. Chicken George, them days, they want them
Yeah,
back.
where
So,
people knew their places and too much. And then I think that's the like you said when you hear these nationalistic people talk and um, it is scary when you're not in that majority because they talking from a period from a place of too much people have too much say in this country. They taking away from my rights. They
uh-huh.
watering down me. I'm not as superior as I used to be anymore, right? And so it is scary when that happens. Just to say "Make America," that's not a good slogan because, like you said, you need to break down. Tell me you can fix the roads, you can do this and whatever, but like you said, these general statements and the people you firing up that could have some very negative
Yep.
connotations,
Yep.
and you say that is what scares away. I think a lot of black people from the Republican Party, and and I don't think the Republicans have really and truly done a good job to address that. Like they can, a lot of them, if you hear some of the channels and them talk, they more so reinforce that thinking rather than trying to reassure you that no, we are all embracing. We know, we have no place for racism or anything of that inside this party. We all welcoming you, right? You don't seem to get that in that way, right? There's a lot of undertones
Yep.
that come across, and there's a lot of people that they 100% refuse up to President Trump to disassociate themselves with certain comments. Like you said, this comment here, like you said, where's the outrage? Where's the thing with that? You didn't see that, but it shows like you said, they've gotten so comfortable, and this is what it is not easy to defend or justify. I heard all kind of stupid. Oh well, you get tied, tongue tied, but then that word don't sound like nothing else.
Nothing else. Nothing else I got to do with anything.
That don't rhyme. Ain't no tongue twisting in that. Nothing that wasn't close to nothing what he was trying to say, other than what he wanted to say.
Thank you. But this is where we at now, and it's scary, and we have to do as a people we got to do better. Black and white, we have to do better. But this is totally unacceptable. That I I can't see that even how we cut the. I have seen people cut the commercial breaks and come back for lesser things.
And people use the F word or some obscenity, right?
Yeah. And I'd rather hear the F word than to hear these words being done because once he start, the rest can start too.
Yep.
But anyway, George, that's our bungie today, Mr. Rich Lowry. May God be with you, my brother, because you got a lot you got a lot going on. But that's our show for today. My name is DeCarlo Sweden. I want y'all to stay tuned in Superior Talk. We have shows basically every day. On Monday, we have Sword Sharpeners, a religious show. On Tuesday, we have Let's Talk with Jason and Cheryl. Also, what's going on with George and myself. Wednesday, we have our sports show with Cat and Mix. On Thursday, we have Islandish. So stay tuned. We are here to give you all that we have, entertain you. Remember, subscribe and like our videos. We need you. We can't do this without you. George, any other parting words for the day?
No, it's Tuesday. Everyone have a wonderful week. Carlos said, subscribe, stay tuned. It's gonna get hotter.
Oh, yeah. The closer election get, the better it can get. So stay tuned, and we can tell y'all what's going on.